What's up, YouTube? On this episode, we're going to Spas Creek and Pumpkin Hollow in the Daniel Boone National Forest. Spas Creek Road and Pumpkin Hollow Road are unmaintained county roads just outside of the Red River Gorge. They are part of the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway and also part of the Kentucky Adventure Tour. These are two of the most popular routes in the area for off-road and overlanding recreation. As you enter Spas Creek, there are several spots to camp. We stopped here to take a little bit of air out of the tires. Neither one of these trails are terribly difficult, however there are some obstacles. The first one we came across was a fallen tree.
You can see where people hit.
We sized it up and tried real hard to see if we could squeeze through. Just wasn't going to play out for us.
Not gonna make it.
After we obviously wasn't going to fit under the tree, we decided to go down through the campsites and cut back out the other side. Alan and Nancy made it through without any issues at all. There are several creek crossings along Spas Creek, none of which are very deep, and most of them this time of year are pretty much dry. The same can be said for the mud holes. There are several of them, but they're not very deep.
Holy shit.
This trail gets a huge amount of traffic, especially on the weekends in the summer. Here you have an option. The left is pretty flat. The right one puts you a little more off camber. We chose the right one. There's a couple ways around it, but I'm betting this mud hole gets pretty deep in the spring. There's also a place or two where you might end up with some Kentucky pinstripes. There is a place or two to test your flex. We're definitely going to have some wheel spacers. Alan and Nancy have sway bar disconnects ordered. They just haven't made it in yet. There are a couple places along here where you go in and out of the creek that really put you off camber. I think Alan said that his gauge on his dash said we were at about 21 degrees here coming into the creek. Well, this trail's not real technical. It is very scenic, especially this time of year. This little waterfall here is one of the more popular obstacles along Spas Creek. Anything with a little bit of ground clearance will not have any problems though. This is the famous mud hole at the top of Spas Creek. Somebody has come in with a backhoe and moved the rocks.
Oh, pretty dogs. Yeah, nice dogs. Yeah.
The rest of the way out of Spas Creek was very scenic with the rocks and all the fall colors. After you leave Sposs Creek, just down the road on the left, you find your way into Pumpkin Hollow. Like these old houses and stuff.
Yeah.
This trail's a little bit rougher than Sposs Creek, but you still shouldn't have any problems with a little bit of ground clearance. If there's any concern, then do it the opposite way. Do Pumpkin Hollow first and then Sposs Creek. I think I mentioned it before, but you ought to consider having some ground clearance. Even with Allen and Nancy's AEV leveling kit, which gives them 2.5 inches of lift, and the 34-inch tires, they still rubbed here. As old as this road is, it's cut really deep. Some places you might get close to your body panels. Once you get to the top of the hill, the technical parts are pretty much over. It's a nice scenic ride down the other side.
I mean, because this is considered the cat, isn't it, also? Or is this...
Yeah, Sposs Creek and Pumpkin Hollow is part of the cat. At the end of the trail, there's a really cool old house. Somebody is completely remodeling it. Deb and I talked about how cool it would be to live there. We made it through Sposs Creek and Pumpkin Hollow on this trip. Stay tuned for the next video when we go to Mountain Springs and Old Fincastle. Thanks again for watching Cottywampah Overland. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Tell us what you think in the comments below. See ya.